Welcome back. I'm Washing. This is Underground Strength. Now the dust has settled after a great weekend in Galway. What can I say? Well done to everybody, and congratulations to everybody who placed top four. The top four actually get their invite now to UKNS. I'm sure you've seen the events. If not, I'm going to cover some of them today, so you guys know what's coming up. If you're not going to UKNS and you're thinking of alternative competitions, well, I'm going to give you a rundown of everything that's happening between now and the end of April. So loads of opportunity for both men and women of all different categories, different weights, and different abilities. So sit down and hopefully enjoy this one. So the events, let me have a look here. Where we go? Where we go? Talking to myself. Right, so the events coming up between now and April are as follows. We've got Static Monsters kicking off February 21st. We've got Strongwoman Ireland League 1, which is the end of February. We've also got OSG official Ireland's Strongest Woman, February 20th as well. Total Training got their spring meet on the 28th of March. UKNS, as I mentioned, is the 11th of April. And then the day after that, Oblex are running a competition on the 12th of April down in Cork. And then finally, we've got the Irish Strongman League kicking off in April, which I'll be doing myself. So, really looking forward to that one personally, of course. So going back, first on the list is the Static Monsters. So Static Monsters is kicking off, as I said, February 21st. It's going to be down in Midland Strength, hosted by April and Dave. What's Static Monsters? Quite simply put, Static Monsters is max log and a max deadlift variant. So max log, your standard log, you have 3 attempts to max out as much as you can on the day. Again, clean, press overhead, lock out, get your down signal, you get the points. Brilliant. For the deadlift, the deadlift is on these big, massive, giant wheels, and it's an elevated deadlift. So the bar starts a bit higher than the traditional bar, and it's also an axle bar as well. You do get to wear a deadlift suit on this as well. So this is why we always see some really, really big numbers in Static Monsters. It's like slightly elevated, so if you're good at pull from an elevated position, I'm not. I'm good off the ground. I'm no good. I'm gonna say no good. I'm less capable of pulling a good weight at a raised deadlift. So it's an axle bar, which means it doesn't flex, big, thick 2-inch bar. So there's no flex in the bar. So once you pull that bar, it's all the weight, 100% of it, from the very bottom to the very top. As I said, you're allowed to wear a suit, so some people can get 20, 30 kg out of a suit. The closing day for that is February the 8th. So as of time of recording, today is the 7th. So Sunday the 8th is the extended cutoff time for entries if you're thinking of doing it. It's a really good event to do because it's not super taxing on the body because there's only literally 2 lifts, max log overhead and max deadlift. So it could be a good opportunity for you guys who are out there and you are doing a bit of logging, you just want to test yourself and see where you're at. Once you complete it, then you are on a leaderboard again everywhere in the world. How amazing is that? So you can stack up to see where you are versus somebody else, either in your weight category or masters or whatever the case may be. So if in doubt, check out Midland Strength, Static Monsters, get signed up, guys, because it's going to be a good day. Next on the list, we have Strongwoman Ireland are kicking off on their league. So the league is based over 3 different events over the year. Event 1 is kicking off now February 28th. It's on Erin's Island, Finglas. I was there last year for a competition. Really good venue for a competition. It's easy to get to. It's just off the M50 in Finglas. The location is massive. There's lots of space for events. We done sandbag throws, and there was never any issue with it hitting the ceiling or roof, which is fantastic. And it was indoors. Sometimes when you do a sandbag throw, you have to go outdoors to do it. And outdoors, in February, weather-wise, it's very hit or miss. So it's great to have it actually indoors. Warm up area is massive, loads and loads of space, so it's not as cramped as some places, especially when you get loads of people there. So that's going to be really good. As I said, 20th of February. The events this year are where's the events? Oh my god! Oh, axle clean and press for reps, deadlift for reps, dash carrying load, farmer's walk, and sandbag to shoulder. Now they have a couple of different categories in it for depending on your ability. So we've got beginners, we've got novice, and we've got intermediate. So beginners, ideally, a beginner is less than a year's training. You've never done a competition before. This is just basically cutting your teeth. That should be your beginners. Your novice, you've been training for about a year. You may have done one comp, but ideally, you're kind of new to the sports, but you have a bit of training behind you. And then the third one is the intermediate. Intermediate would be who was novice last year, or if you've competed at Galway there recently, you'd be classed as an intermediate because you're just that wee bit more experienced, or maybe your ability is just a bit higher. And the idea of having them 3 categories it makes it more fair for everybody who's entering. So if you look at the weights, if you have entered this or you're thinking of entering a future one, have a look at the weights and pick one that's going to give you a really good challenge. Don't be picking one that's super light. Pick one that you can think to yourself, well, actually, in 8 weeks or nine, whatever the time frame is, by that time, I should be able to do a rep or 2 reps at that weight. Look at that way. You'll feel far better on the day when you do roll and then smash it. So that's my advice anyway. Yeah, and I'm sure the guys will be keeping an eye on who's competing at what level. And I would hazard a guess that if you come into the very first one and you annihilate everybody, you might get moved up a category just to keep it fair. There's nothing worse than you being in a category of somebody and you're really struggling to get a rep here and they're just repping like it's high rocks or something or CrossFit. Like we don't want that. We don't want a rep fest. Nobody likes seeing rep fest and strongman. If you do, it's far too late for you. So that is the 3 categories on the day. The second one then is kicking off. It's on April 25th in Fermanagh, which is really good because that's the same day as the men's league. So we're going to have great crack there, just having everybody. The more people that's competing on the day, it's not ideal for the people that's running it because obviously you have more implements to change and weights to do. But for us as athletes, it's great crack because you have a bigger crowd there. And then the third one then is August 9th, and that one's going to be in Urban Barbell in Limerick. Last year, after the 3 events, they did do a clash of the Celts, which was, I think it was the Scottish ladies. It was the Scottish Welsh and Irish all came together and went head to head to see who was the overall Celtic Strongwoman, which is a great idea. It's a really good way. We done it with the Scottish guys last year, or I think only one came over actually in the end. But it was just a nice way to finish the year off and kind of because you have your league and then it's just a nice wee top off for the league. So that is your 3 events. As I said, the weights on it are beginners for the axle clean and press is 40, the novice is 50 kilos, and then the intermediate is 55 kilos. For the deadlift, same thing today. You have a choice of 2 deadlifts, 110, 130 for the opening, 130, 150, and 140, 160 for the intermediate. I think it was changed. I think they dropped 10 kilos off it. Dash carrying load is a 10-meter run on, and then you're going to lift a sandbag or ball, I'm not too sure, probably a sandbag of 50, 60, and 70, depending on your category. And that's loaded over a 44-inch height. So exact same height as the yokes at the Nationals there in January 31st. Fourth event then is a 10 plus 10 meters farmers. So it starts off at 55 kg a hand for the beginners, 65, and then 70 up for the intermediates. Basically, pick up, do your 10 meters, drop at the end, turn, and back down 10 meters again. And then the final one then is sandbag to shoulder, 60 seconds to do as many reps as you can. It's always a killer. It's always a killer. And the weights for that is 50, 60, 70 in accordance to your league or your category, so to speak. So beginners, novice, intermediates. So that's going to be a really good day. And just to make that day even better, we have got Ireland's Strongest Woman. So official Strongman Games is the pathway, and it's going to be Ireland's Strongest Woman. 20th of February, it's the 10-year anniversary of Strongwoman Ireland, which is great. So I hope we get a bit of a crowd there to support everybody and just to kind of give the guys the recognition they deserve because it came from nothing and they've built it up. And when we see how many women are competing year in, year out, it's phenomenal. We've got some of the, excuse me, we've got some of the best athletes in the world who compete in the nationals and the natural strongman. And again, why not have them transferring through to OSG? So with OSG as well, because it's official strongman games, the Open, if I'm correct in saying this. Now there is a podcast, Strongwoman Ireland podcast. Please listen to it. I'll try to link it below. Listen to the podcast. They cover it all in detail, way better than I'm going to do. But they talk about the classifications and they talk about the progression onto the next level, so you guys can have a good idea of right. If I do this, within 2 more comps, I could be world champ, or I could be mixing it with, the big heavy hitters, the top, the best in the world, which is it's a very exciting prospect, intimidating at the same time, but also very exciting to think that you're 2 comps away from that. So the open weight gets through the official strongman against Britain's Strongest Woman, and then the weight class ladies they get through to OSG as well. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I think it's a great opportunity to have that pathway. But as I said, listen to the Strongwoman Ireland podcast. As I said, the ladies there are covered in great detail. So that's all happening in one day. So we're going to lots of people there. Hopefully it's a cracking day for them. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'll get down, but I'll definitely be watching on the Strong Pass. Funny must love me for all this promoting. But Strong Pass is amazing at the same time. I can't knock it. The third one then, moving on to is, or fourth one actually, is Total Training. So my buddy Seamus up in Total Training outside Ballymena, he's running his spring meet. Seamus does spring, summer, and winter meet, or is it autumn as well? There's a couple meets over the year. They're always good fun because they're aimed at all different abilities, so novice, intermediate, and first timers. So with his, we've got first timers, just like the Strongwoman Ireland. That's for people who who are doing their first event. That's the idea what first timers are. We've got a novice and we've got an intermediate. With Seamus, he's picking a push pull max. So basically, you combine your best overhead and your best deadlift. And if they're over 340 kg, well, then you're in the intermediates. If you're under 340 kg, you're in the novice. For the ladies, it's 180 kilos. So for the intermediates, then it maxes out at 430. So if you've got a 350 deadlift and what's that, 80 kilo overhead, well, then you probably shouldn't be doing this because 430 is the max. And again, that's ideal because they want to keep it competitive for people. So if you're coming on with a 350, 400 kilo deadlift and 150 overhead, that's nearly 500 kilo combined. That's a bit much for this comp. So, and it's not fair on the guys who are stepping up. So 430 for the men and 230 for the ladies is the cutoff point, which I think is a good weight. It's a good weight and it'll keep it competitive. The events on the day is monster dumbbell for reps. We've got deadlift ladder, which is cool. We have keg loading. There is a sandball over shoulder. And what else am I missing? What else am I missing? Deadlift, loading, sandball, deadlift, loading, monster dumbbell. Yoke and duck race, of course, yoke and duck. So, first event, monster dumbbell for reps. So, for the ladies, first timers, you're going to be using a normal dumbbell. Everybody else is going to be using a monster dumbbell, which is basically just an oversized dumbbell. They're just a bigger end on them, and they're all loadable. The weights start off at 17.5 for the ladies, novice is 20, enters is 30. For the men on the monster dumbbell, it's 35, 42, and 52 kg. So again, clean up the shoulder. You can clean with both hands up to your shoulder. Once it's in that rack position, hand has to come off. You press up and you have to lock it out, and the referee will give you a down signal. Once that's done, drop to the pad, controlled, back up again, and rinse and repeat. And that's the same for the men and the women. Next one then is the yoke into duck walk. So a yoke is the big frame you put on your shoulders, you stand up and you try cover the distance as fast as possible. With this event, you'll start off at one side. You usually start off the yoke. How did we do it last time? Did we start the yoke, cover the distance, drop the yoke, turn, pick up the duck walk, and then cover the distance again? And again, it's going to be fastest time. So for the ladies, it's a 140 kilo yoke and a 70 kg duck walk. The duck walk is a load of plates with a T-shaped handle, and you have to lift it up and you have to try walk with it. It's called duck walk for a reason because you do this kind of a weird duck movement across the course. It's quite difficult to do because it hits on your legs here. I seen we were doing last November. We were doing Ultimate Ireland, and I seen one of the guys, Gav McNamee, he actually held it up really high. So instead of having his arms straight, he held it up here. I tried that with that weight, and it was actually much better because it takes it away from your thighs, but you have to hold the weight up here. So again, it's a balancing thing. If you're training this, if you're watching this video and you're training the duck walk, try it down here, but also try it up really high. And you don't use the full 20 kilo plates, use like 15 kg plates because it'll make it a bit smaller, not be hitting off your legs. So that's the duck walk. That's going to be interesting. So I said women's 140 and 70. The next level up is 160 and 80. Then the intermediates is 180 and 90 kg. For the men, it's 180 kg yoke into 90 duck walk, 200 into 110, and then for the enters, it's 250 into 140. That's a good weight. A 250 yoke's decent, and a 140 duck walk's hard. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. Deadlift ladder. I love deadlift ladders. I love everything deadlift. So it's great to see this. Fair play to the guys who's doing the loading because there's gonna be 4 bars out in the day. So for the ladies, it's 80, 90, 95, and 100 kilo. So do the 80 onto 90, onto 95, and then finish up in the 100 kg. If it's like the one I seen Seamus doing before, it's probably going to be different bars. It's not going to be all standard deadlift bars. You could have a stuff bar, you could have an axle bar, you could have a normal deadlift bar, and you could have something else. You know, I'm sure he'll have the information up on his Instagram and Facebook, so check out Total Training. I'm sure he'll have everything there. But that's going to be an interesting one because it's not just who's the best at deadlifting, it's getting the lockout, dropping it, not tripping over the bar, getting on to the next one, getting on to the next one. So that's going to be good. It's 80, 90, 95, 100 for the ladies. Next one up is 90, 100, 110, 120. And then intermediates is starting off at 100, 110, 120, and 130. For the men, then the weights start off with 150 and it goes up to 180 for the first timers. Novice 170 all the way up to 200, and that's all 10 kilo jumps, by the way. And then for the intermediates, 200, 220, 240, and 260. So 20 kg jumps in that. To do 4 reps at 220, 240 is a good lift. But to do it between 200 and 260, that'll be good. If anyone pulls to 260, I don't know who's attending this, but 260 is a good pull. It's a good pull. There we go. Next one then, we have the keg loading. So the keg loading is onto a 48-inch height, so it's quite high. Generally with Seamus's, you start at the loading platform, you run out, it's going to be 8 meters in this case, run out to the first keg, lift it, run back and load it up onto the platform. It's very crucial on this event that you actually have the keg upright. I've seen people win and loses by throwing the keg in it, rolling off. So you have to put the keg upright before your time stops. So the 3 weights for the women are 30, 40, 50, novice is 40, 50, 40, 50, 60, intermediate then is 50, 60, 70. Onto the men, you have 40, 50, 60 for the first timers, novice 50, 60, 75, and intermediate is 60, 75, and 100 kg. Good weight again. And then the final rep one is the sandstone bag over reps. So same height, 40 inches, and it's going to be a rep fest. Many reps you can do over and back, over and back, over and back. Good way to finish a comp, I think. First timers, ladies, it's a sandbag, 45 kilo sandbag. Novices using 60 kilo stone, sandstone that is, so sandball. Third one then is using an 80 kilo sandstone as well. So yeah, there we go. On to men's. First timers doing 80, novice 100, and a 120 then for hunters. So that's going to be a good push. That's going to be a good push. Seamus always runs a great comp. So if you're near Ballymena, the closing date on that one is, what's the closing date? I wrote it down somewhere. Closing date is the 20th of February. So you still have a few weeks left yet. I should be at that. I have a friend that might be doing it, hopefully, if she agrees. So it'd be good to see her doing it. So it means I'll be up there on the day, which would be great. So Seamus, if you're watching this, I might be able to help you out. Oh, I hate saying that because loading's really hard, but look, I don't mind helping. It's good fun. Next then we have Natural Strongman, Ireland, 3rd January 31st, all done and dusted. Wales has been done the 1st of Feb. England's is on this weekend, and then the Central Europe's is on 7th of March. Once they're all completed, Scotland was done as well. Scotland was done in January, I think. Once they're all completed, the top 4 out of every one of them gets an invite to UKNS, so UK Natural Strongman. I don't know what the weights are on this, but it's held over it's on the 11th of April in Wolverhampton in the UK. It's going to be a log and press for reps. So you do one clean, and then press, press, press. That's good. Nice, good to see that. Sled push, carry, and drag. So it's a sled push, sandbag carry into a sled drag. Then we have deadlift third, which is unusual. You usually don't see a deadlift third, which is good. It's a palm wheels, so it's a 13-inch deadlift. So it's slightly bit higher than normal, and it's on the big metal wheels. The same wheels they would have used at the Nationals for the guys doing an axle clean and press. They had them on these big metal wheels, like a big wagon wheel sort of thing. So it's going to be a deadlift for reps on that. Don't know the weights. I'm sure it'll be pretty good. Circus dumbbell and then rubber on the shoulders. This is a kind of like a medley. So circus dumbbell is the big dumbbell with the fat handle and the round edges. Really difficult to hold in the hand because the handle is so fat. So it's going to make that clean and press, drop it down, and then a rubber stone to shoulder. So that's going to be a good event. First time I've seen a circus dumbbell and a rubber stone combined. That's going to be good. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. And then the farmers with a turn, 15 and 15. I think that means 15 turn and then 15 back, which means your grip gets no break on that. That's good. That's good. I like that idea. And then keg loading is a three kegs by a 10-meter course. Not too sure the height in that. Probably 48 inches. They always seem to go 44 for the women, 48 for the men. So yeah, there we go. That should be good. 11th of April over in the hangar in Wolverhampton. I'm sure I'll be on Strong Pass once again. I'm looking forward to watching that. And the next day, if you're not going to that and you're down in Cork somewhere, is the Obelix Ireland Strongest. So this is going to be a really good competition because it covers so many different categories. We've got first time ladies, we've got novice, we've got and then class 2. Men's exact same thing. First time men's, we've got class 1 and class 2. So it's basically 3 different levels of weights. What I like about this one as well, and by the way, it's sold out. I think he's opened up. I seen something. Let me just double check. I'm nearly sure he has opened up a few more slots in one of the categories. Let me just double check when I am here now to be sure. So if you're not following Oblix Strongman, you know what to do. Jump on their Instagram, OBELIX Strongman, and let me see, where is it now? This one I have it. Ladies class two with three. Oh, there we go. Three athletes in this category, and he's looking to take a little more. So there we go. Ladies class two. What the ladies class two classification basically is the really strong one. So class two is, if your max deadlift and overhead is over 200 kg, you should be in class two. So if you've like a 150 deadlift and a 50 overhead, there you go, you're class two. So good, really good opportunity, really good opportunity. So they might be able to get two or three more people into that one. So if you're down the south of the country or you're up north and you want a weekend in Cork, there you go. So all the other categories are sold out, and they sold out within a week, I think, or 2 weeks. So hats off to the guys. Obviously, they run a really good show. He's got a good network down there to get that a competition sold out that quick is phenomenal, phenomenal. So first timers, ladies, your max push pull is 160. Your novice, oh no, sorry, first timers is first timers. Novice is a max 160, and then the class two is anybody above 200 kg. So you have first timers on a 160, 160 to 200 is novice, and 200 plus is class two. With men's 240, first timers max 240 for class one, and then 340. So you go from novice to class one is between 240 and 340 kilos. Above 340 kilo push pull is class two. Hope that's not too confusing. What I like about this one is the events changed depending on the categories. So for the ladies first timers, it's log, it's a hex bar deadlift, and a sandbag load and a sled push pull. For the class one, it's an axle and a muscle dumbbell for reps, deadlift for reps, sandbag into a sled pull push, and then also a 150 kilo Zercher squat reps. So what a Zercher squat reps is think of the yoke that you use for carrying, set down nice and low, you lift it with your arms, and you basically stand up with it, and then you do squats with that. So it's an interesting event. I haven't seen this done on a comp, so that'll be pretty cool, and it's a good one for people to kind of give a go because it's just different. It's just different. Where was this? And then they're going to finish up with a sandbag to shoulder. Class two is slightly different, so it's a shoulder medley. So axle into keg into giant dumbbell, which is cool. Deadlift for reps, anchor drag, 12 meters, 110 kilo sandbag to shoulder, and a farmer's hold. That's really cool. And then said then for the that was the men. Sorry, for the ladies then we've log for reps, hex bar deadlift, sandbag, just like the first timers. Yep. Sorry, so one of the first timers is log, hex bar deadlift, a sled push pull, and a sandbag. For the class one and class twos, they have the log into log for reps, hex bar deadlift for reps, 60, 80 ish kilo sandbag into sled pull, sandbag over bar for reps, and a Zercher as well. So really good mix of events on that. Lots of variants in it. Fair play to the guys for loading that. It's going to be a tough one to load because there's so much going on. But that'll be cool. It's in the Radisson Blue in Cork. I think that's Photo Island. So there you go, guys. 12th of April. Don't miss that one. And last but not least, we are on to the GSP Irish Strongman League. So this is the league I done last year. Again, 3 events spaced over the year. First one is now in 25th of April. It's kicking off. It is in Ford Strength in Fermanagh, which is going to be really good. I'm looking forward to getting back down there again. Last time I was there, it was one of my second ever comp was INSF Battle of Fermanagh. It was another really good day. That was the last time I've ever done an Atlas Stone in a competition. And guess what? In this comp, there's an Atlas Stone competition. So how cool is that? Uh, so that's the first. That's event one. The classification. This is. Do we have a beginners? This is what we do. Beginners, class one and class two. So your beginners, obviously beginners. Class one is people who are kind of stepping up a wee bit, and then class two is the heavier one. That's kind of the three ways to have it. Class two, if I remember correctly, what was the push pull? 350 kg. So if your max push pull is above 350 kilos, well then you're in class one. If it's below 350, you're in class two. If you're a novice or a newbie, beginner is perfect for you. That's the easy way to describe it. The events on the day are where am I looking? Axle clean for max. Now this is for class one. Now class one is going to be a max axle press, which is going to be interesting. I need to work on that. Class two is going to be an axle press for reps, and it's 670 or 90 kg. So again, a good choice for people. Class 1 deadlift, 220 kilos or 260 for reps. I'll be doing 260, of course. Class 2 is 180 and 220. The yoke, then we've either 270 for class 1 or 220 for class 2. Next, then we've got a farmers, so it's 10 meters, 10 meters. Class 1 is 120 kilos per hand. Class 2 is 100 kilos per hand. And then the last one, which is a bloody cool one, I think, is the last man standing stone off. So what is that? Basically, we all start at 80 kg stone. Let it put it onto the platform onto the next person. If you're 10 people, it means you've got 9 people and yourself are going to take a go. Whoever fails that's out, and then we move on to the 90 kilos. And then there's 100, the 120, the 140, the 160, and the 180 stone. It'd be interesting to see if anybody gets past the 160. 160 is a big stone to lift. Fancy myself for the 140 at least, maybe the 160. 180 will be a big push. So Liam, if you're watching this, you better get my programming on point because I want that 180 stone. For the beginners, then we've got axle press for reps 60 kg, deadlift for reps 160 kilos, sand bag over a yoke, 10-meter running. So you start at the yoke, run out 10 meters, get your sandbag, run back with it, drop it over. You have a 70, 80, and 90 kg bag. So you're going to have 3 runs to do. Farmer's hold for time, no straps. This is going to be a good one. 90 kilos per hand. You basically have to stand up and hold there until your grip goes. If you train this, just look after your pickup and don't rush to pick up on the day. It's only a bit of advice I can give you. I done this at OSG and sometimes I picked it up on training and it just didn't feel right. On that day I picked it up and it just felt lovely. And once it feels nice, you're not worried about the pain in your hand or your skin binding or whatever. You just have to stand there and you worry about everything else pulling apart. 90 kilos a hand's good. So technically you're standing with 180 kilos on you guys. So enjoy that one. Last one then is sandbag to shoulder for reps, 80 kilos. Again, that's just reps, so that's going to be a hard one to finish on. Really looking forward to the league. It's going to be good fun. On that same day, as I said, we'll have the ladies' league there as well, so it should be good. A good buzz about the place. So if you're around for Strength Fitness in Fermanagh, by all means, call and give us a shout. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day. So that's event 1. We have event 2 and event 3. So event 2 kicks off in June 27th in Clare Galway Castle. That's going to be an amazing day. This will be the 3rd or 4th year now. I think the Strength Cup is on the castle. So we've got the league on in the morning. We've got the Strength Cup on, and then in the afternoon, and we've got the night of games on as well. So it's natural stone lifting, Irish martial arts, music, culture, history. It's going to be a really good day. The Strength Cup's class because we got last year we got a couple of guys over from the UK who competed at Giants Live. You know, we had a couple of guys there who are like Ireland's Strongest Man, Rory Hagan, stuff like that. Kelly Groom and all was there. So we always get the big guys, the best, get to go there, and a few other people who are maybe one day going to be the best. This year, without confirming too much, John Ryan. So John's doing Ireland's Strongest Man, of course, and in June he's just smashed the nationals there. He should be getting his invite because both myself and him, we won the league last year, and I think that gets. Although I was asking Matty says we have an invite to it, so I'll be doing the GSP League 1 or League Day 2 that day, and I'll also be doing the Strength Cup hopefully if I'm capable. It's a huge step for me to jump on the Strength Cup because the guys are monsters. They're pressing 150, 160 overhead, and I am not doing anything near that. But depends on the events. Hopefully there's a bag throw because I'm okay at that. Hopefully it's some kind of deadlift. I'll be okay at that. If you're watching and you don't want to do an overhead, I'm totally happy with none of that. Bring the Clare Galway stone back because I want to get a lift of that. So that'll be 4 events. And then hopefully nothing like a stupid shaded carry or sandbag carry. We don't want to see any sandbag carries, Matty. I've done enough of them. They're horrendous. So yeah, Strength Cup's going to be on the same day as well. It's going to be brilliant. We have the female Strength Cup as well. Was it Rebecca Roberts won it last year? No, she won it the first year. Oh, I forget the girl that won it last year. She was amazing. But anyway, have a look. It's there. You'll find it on GSP promotions and stuff. And there we go. That's a roundup of all the comps between now and, well, that is, I know we did cover June, but there's a few more in between that. Jump on my Instagram page and you will see one of the pinned pages is the Irish Strongman calendar. Dave Harrington was thankfully Dave done it up. It's there. It's an active file. He controls it, and you can see the entire calendar for the year, what comp's running, where it's at, what date, and who runs it. So you get all the information here. So if you're thinking about signing up for a competition, jump onto that, have a look, and then contact them directly. and take the plunge. Don't be waiting on it. It is intimidating, of course, but it's exciting and it's so much fun. If it wasn't as much fun, why are so many people doing it? We keep doing it, we keep coming back. So, and that's us done. Thanks very much, guys. Just a quick roundup of competitions coming up for the year over the next few months. I'm going to do one of these every 2 to 3 months just to catch up and keep everything, alive and keep the eyes on, guys. That's what I want to do. So keep sharing this, keep liking it, and share about your friends. And yeah, appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Cheers.